What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a mid-burst fade, so stay tuned. We're starting off by saturating the hair and combing everything in place, making sure our canvas is nice and neat. Now that we're done saturating the hair and combing everything in place, we could take our gold effects and create our first guideline. Now that we're done balding them out, we can move on to our foil shavers and remove the stubble. You want to flick out around 1 centimeter away from the first guideline. Now that we're done removing the stubble, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. Now that we're done setting in that guideline, we're going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Don't be afraid to stretch the skin with your opposite hand to give you more space to blend, especially when the space is really small. Here I'm using my gold FX to attack that bottom line and flick out as much as possible. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our 1 guard all the way open and create our third guideline. As you guys can see, I am using my comb to feed the hair into the clipper when needed. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a donation or super things down below, or follow the Instagram. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 1 guard all the way open, we can move on to our half guard and erase the line completely. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our 2 guard all the way open and create our 4th guideline. Here we're using our comb to feed the hair into the clipper and we're flicking out as much as possible. This guard is going to help us create our 4th guideline and soften up this same line, getting ready for the 1.5 guard. After I was done creating my 4th guideline with my 2 guard all the way open, I then moved on to my 3 guard all the way open and created my 5th guideline. Don't forget to use the comb to feed the hair into the clipper, because when you're using only the clipper, the hair moves and shifts around. Now we're heading back to our 2 guard all the way open, and again we're going to soften up this line before the 1.5 guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 2 guard, we can move on to our 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your 1.5 guard, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open and using his corners would definitely help. Here I'm using my 1 guard all the way open and then my 1.5 guard to detail as much as possible. Also, just another tip, don't be afraid to move the ear out of the way and stretch the skin with your opposite hand. It will help you in the long run. Again, we're using our 2 guard all the way open to soften up this line, and then we're gonna get ready for our 1.5 guard. Now we're moving on to our 1.5 guard, and we're going to use the corners and its lever to erase the line completely. Now we're using our 3 guard all the way open right above the 2 guard all the way open, and we're flicking now as much as possible. Now we're moving on to our clipper over comb method, and I'm going to use my horizontal cuts to debulk and smoothen out the ridge. Remember, when you're using your horizontal cuts, that's mainly to debulk, and your vertical cuts is mainly to blend. If you're ever having trouble picking up the hair with the comb, it's always good to saturate it a little bit, and it's easier to pick up. Now I'm using my comb and thinning shears to thin out the bridle ridge. Now that we're done with the top, I'm going back to my previous guards and I'm detailing as much as possible using my corners. Now before we line everything up, we're going to debulk the back of the mullet and then we're going to line up with our goat FX. Since there is a lot of hair in the back, we're going to slowly feed the hair into the clipper and line them up, making them as crispy as possible. Always make sure to reassure that line, making sure it's nice and crispy. You can always recomb it with your comb and then re-hit it. Again, I'm using my thinning shears to debulk the sides, making it as smooth as possible. Again, don't forget to feed the hair into the clipper using your comb when needed. Now that we're done bursting out the sides, we can move on to our goat FX and line up his C-cups. I always like to start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch, slowly feeding the hair into the clipper, making sure the hair doesn't shift. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a donation or a super thanks down below, or follow the Instagram. Now we're moving on to the other C cup, and we're going to start off at the bottom, working our way to the top arch using the corners of the blade. What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing guys a brand new video. We're going to be doing a mid-fade on my boy, so stay tuned. We started off by saturating the hair and combing everything into place, making sure everything's nice and neat. Now that we have a nice and neat canvas, we're going to separate the top from the sides. Now we're moving on to our 3 guard all the way open, and we're going to debulk the sides, feeding the hair into the clipper using our comb. Now we're moving on to our 4 guard all the way open, and we're going to flick out as much as possible. This is going to help us build our silhouette. Now that we're done debulking the sides, we can move on to our Goat FX and create our first guideline. We're going to contour this guideline to his head shape so that the fade can flow better. This also gives a more unique fade to their head shape. You also want to keep in mind not to press too hard when creating the first guideline, because then it's going to be harder to take out. Once we're done setting in this guideline, we're then going to close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow the Instagram. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our 1 guard all the way open and create our 3rd guideline. We're also going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. Sometimes after using the 1.5 guard, there's still a faint line, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open would definitely help. Moving on to our 3. Now that we're done with our 3 guard, we can move on to our clipper over comb method. This is going to help us blend into the bulk without chopping too much hair. Now we're going to move on to our 4 guard all the way open and use the comb to feed the hair into the clipper while flicking out as much as possible. We don't want to destroy the silhouette, so we are flicking out, so pay attention to that. Now we're going back to our thinning shears and we're going to thin out the hair. As you can see, we're thinning it out at an angle, which is slightly down. As you guys can see, the blend is now coming together. We just got to put a line on there and chop the top. Now that we're done with the fade, we can move on to our Gold FX and line up the C-cup. I always start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch using the corners of the blade. You also always want to make sure you go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer. Man, guys, tell me that fade ain't clean. Leave a comment down below. Now that we're done doing our C-cups, we can move on to the top. And we're going to use our shears to create our first guideline through the top of the capitus right through the middle. And then work our way to the sides. When we work our way to the sides, we're going to angle it at a certain angle that goes with this head shape. You also always want to make sure the hair is nice and saturated so you can get the hair's true length. If the hair starts drying up, don't be afraid to grab the water bottle and spray them again. When you're doing your shear work, you want to stay as consistent as possible, so definitely take your time. Now that we're done with our shear work on top, we can move on to our Turkish razor and Derby Premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. When using a razor, you always want to keep it at a 45-degree angle and stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow the Instagram.